Hello guys, hope you are all safe and doing good. Welcome to my channel. And from today's video, we are going to start a tutorial course on front-end web development. This course is further going to be a part of a master course for full stack web development, which we will launch pretty soon. So if you don't want to miss out on that and want to be notified earlier, you can subscribe to our channel and turn the notification bell on. Also, you can follow us on Instagram for any updates and announcements for the upcoming course videos. Now, coming back to today's video. Throughout this course, I'll guide you on what is web development, what is front-end web development, what skills you need to learn to become a front-end developer, and what is the roadmap you need to follow to be a full-stack web developer. So without further ado, let's get into the video. So first thing first, what is web development? Web development basically refers to building, creating, and maintaining websites. Basically, web development is categorized into two major development areas, and that is front-end development and back-end development. Now, front-end development is also called as client-side development. It is actually the practice of producing the layout for a website or web application so that a user can see and interact with them directly. Now, if I talk about back-end development, it's the skill that powers the web. It is the code that connects the web to a database, manages the user connections, and powers the web application itself. Backend works in tandem with frontend to deliver the final product to the end user. Now, if we talk about the components of a web page, it consists of four major elements, and those are HTML, CSS, JavaScript, and server side. Here, HTML, CSS, and JavaScript provides the layout of a web page, whereas server side performs the server-based functions. Now, the layout of a web page is basically provided by three major components, that is HTML or hypertext markup language, CSS or cascading style sheets, and JS or you can also call it JavaScript. HTML provides the structure of the web page, CSS gives the web page a nice style, and JavaScript increases the interactivity of a web page so that you can have a better experience. In this video, we are going to learn about the basics of HTML. So let's have a look on what is HTML and then we'll move further to actually work on creating an HTML document. So HTML stands for Hypertext Markup Language and is the standard markup language for creating web pages. It defines the structure of a web page and also tells the browser how to display the content. So with this, let's move on to the tutorial. So now that you have a very fair idea of what HTML is, we can get started by writing a very first HTML document. And to write your own HTML document, all you need is a basic text editor. You can use the default text editor of the operating system, that is Notepad. If you don't want to use Notepad, there are also specialized text editors known as Integrated Development Environment or IDEs. I'm using Visual Studio Code as of now for this tutorial, and I like it because it has a lot of extension that works very well for the web development course. So if you also want to use Visual Studio Code, I'll show you how you can download and use it. It's very easy. Just go to your browser and type Visual Studio Code, and it's from Microsoft, so it's also reliable. So you can download it from here. Go to the link and just select any one, like whatever system you're using. If you're using Windows or if you're using Linux, you can choose these links, or if you are on a Mac, you can use this link. So once you download it, you can open the Visual Studio Code and it will look like something like this. Okay. So to get started with writing your very first HTML page, it's very simple. All you have to do is just create a new file. Okay. So I'm just going right over here and creating a new file inside of my folder. And I'm just going to name it hello world.html. Now remember, when you are creating an HTML document, you have to save the file with a .html extension. If you don't do that, the file will be a plain text or another type of document, and it won't be considered by the computer as an HTML document. So make sure you save the document as .html. Now, once I'm done with it, I'll hit enter, and here I am. The file is open now. So now we are ready to write our very first HTML document. So in order to write an HTML document, we need to follow some sort of writing style that is also known as programming syntax. And there is a programming syntax defined for HTML which defines the structure of a web page. So in order to write an HTML document, we need to follow that syntax or the tags given in HTML to successfully write our web page. So let's begin with it. So the first tag is an HTML tag. Okay. So what this tag does is this tag here is declaring that our document is an HTML document. So whenever the browser or the search engine goes through our document, it will read these HTML tags and get to know within seconds that, okay, this is an HTML tag. So this is an HTML document I am reading. Okay. The next basic syntax or the basic thing you need in your web page is a head tag. Most of the people don't use it, but it's a great practice to use it because it's very helpful. So now what we are doing is we are declaring a head of our web page. Now by head, I don't mean the head of a web page body. Okay. By head, I mean what you see on the top in the tab bar. Okay. So when you open a window or you open a page in your browser, in the tab section, you see the name of the page or the information about that page. So what that is also a part of our web page. Okay. So we need to give that information, and that information goes right into this head tag. So right now we are going to declare a title for our web page. Okay. So here I'm declaring a title, and I'll name my web page as hello world using HTML. Okay. And then I'll close in title. Okay. So till here, what I have done is I have declared an HTML document. Then I've created a head tag. And inside of the head tag, I created a title for my web page. Now, if I want to check it, what I can do is I can just go to my directory and I can open this file right here. Okay. So as you can see here, the web page is showing hello world using HTML as my title. So till now we are doing everything correctly. Now the next part is very important because this is the major component, a major syntax of an HTML document. The next tag is the body tag. Now whatever you want to print or you want to show to your user on a web page, like right here on this whole white screen, whatever comes in here has to be inside of this body tag. If anything goes out of this body tag, it is not going to be shown to the user inside of this area. Like I said, the head tag uses for, for us to show the title here in the tab bar. But except for this thing, if you want to show anything to the user, it should be here in this white area. Okay. And for that, you have to type in anything you want inside of this body tag. So let me just type hello world and I'll save it. And when I go back to my browser and I refresh it, here you go. The hello world is printed on the web page and it is displaying what I want. So as I said, if you want to display anything on your web page, it should go inside of this body tag. So with this, you come to an end of basic syntax writing and how you can use those basic syntaxes to write a very simple HTML document. So here This is your very basic HTML document. Now I will also show you a very quick way of how you can write a basic HTML document using VS Code extension. So if I just type HTML colon 5 and hit tab, did you see that? It typed in everything for me automatically. So this is what I need. Okay. So I'll explain you the first line later. So basically it's declaring that this doc type is HTML. Next part is the HTML tag, and the language is obviously English. Then there is this head tag, okay, and here's the title tag inside of it. And these are the meta characters. I'll explain to you these later when we go further into the course. And this is the body tag. And here in the final, the HTML tag is closing. So within a snap of finger, everything came when I just typed HTML colon 5 and hit tab. Boom. So that is one benefit of using an IDE. Okay. So in the beginning, I would recommend you guys to use Notepad because you want to be really good with your basics. But once you are good enough with your basics, you know how to use it, you know how to write a HTML document, you know how to modify natural HTML document. I would recommend you to step up, move to a professional IDE and use these things, okay? Because you don't want to waste your time on writing each tag manually by yourself. Okay, so this is the end for basics of syntaxes. Let's move on to the next part. So now you have written your very first HTML document. Let's move on to learn few more tags which you can use to display your content much in a much better way. So let's create another file and we'll name it tutorial HTML. And here I'm going to just use what I taught you in the last time. So here I have a basic HTML file. Now I'll just name it tutorial. And now, so in the last part of the video, we saw like inside of the body tag, we just typed hello world and it got printed as it is. But now I want to actually print hello world as a heading. Okay. So in HTML, we have in total of 6 options of how we want our heading to be, which are starting from H1 all the way to H6. So this is H2, sorry. So there is H2, then there is H3, H4, H5, and H6. Okay. So these are the total 6 number of headings available in HTML. And what's the difference? I'll show you right now. So if I just type hello here and I'll save this thing. Okay. So first I'll go in and show you how it looks like. Okay. So this is the tutorial and this is my heading. Hello. Now if I don't want my heading to be this big, I want it to be a little smaller. I can give it inside of H2. Okay. So now if I save it and I refresh it, you can see the next heading is smaller than the previous one. And like this, it's going to decrease in the size as I go down. Okay. So if I give hello in every one of these six tags, I'll end up with something like this. Okay. So here you go. Now I'm pretty much sure that you won't be using these last three as a heading. Like you can use it in any other way, but most probably in a heading section you will be using H1, H2 or H3. But in total there are 6 heading tags available in the HTML syntax. Okay. Now after I have given the heading, I want to print something inside of my body as a paragraph. So basically, when you are on a web page, you read articles, read blogs, and everything. So what they are? They are basically paragraph. So I'm not just going to enter here and start typing blah 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 blah. And obviously, it's going to print, but it's not a good practice. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a paragraph tag, and inside of this paragraph tag, I'm going to write my article or my blog or whatever I want to say. Okay. So say hello to our new member. Okay. So this is the paragraph I want to display on my web page. Okay. So if I go here and click refresh, here it is. This is my paragraph. Okay. And these are the headings. So if I just remove, okay, I don't want them, and I just want to use this one, head to. And if I just save it quickly and I open it back and refresh it, here I have. So this is my heading with the H2 tag, and this is the paragraph with the P tag. Okay, so you create a heading with H1 to H6 tag and a paragraph with a P tag. Okay, now this is what paragraph and headings was about. Let's go to the next section. So in this video, we are going to look into some of the HTML5 semantic elements that were introduced in the HTML5 version. Now, there is a very big misunderstanding, and some people think that HTML5 is different from HTML in the written perspective, whereas it is not. HTML5 and HTML are both very similar in the syntax manner. It is just that HTML5 is a more updated and better version of HTML. For example, in HTML5, both audio and video formats are supported, whereas in HTML it was not. Also, HTML5 allows JavaScript to be run within the browser, whereas HTML didn't allow that. So these are the basic differences between HTML5 and HTML, whereas the syntax and the written structure of the document remains quite the same, though there are some changes in the tags in the HTML5 version, and I'm going to show you what are they. So there are some semantic elements of HTML5 version, and let's start with the first one, that is the doc type. So doc type is basically defining what document type I am writing. So I've also shown you in it in the previous files, like here what we have written. So this was the doc type. And what is this doing it? It is actually declaring this document type as an HTML document. I know that we also do this by declaring the HTML tag, but that is different. That is letting the browser know that we are from here onwards, we are writing a HTML document. But in the HTML5 syntax, this exclamation doc type is used to declare the document in this way. So this is the first tag. Next on, we'll move and we'll write the HTML tag as it is. Then we'll go and we'll write the head tag. And inside of this head tag, we can write the title of, let's say, semantic elements of HTML5. Okay, so this is the heading. The next part is inside of this body tag, here is what comes next. Okay, so now inside of this body tag, I told you we are going to write whatever we want the user to see on the screen. We want whatever we want the user to see, okay, on a web page. So basically, in the previous section, we discussed like you can use heading tags and paragraph tags, and you can write your content inside of it. But let's say you are writing a blog and it contains a nice heading of the blog. Then there is a paragraph. Then in between the paragraph, there is a picture of your blog describing what you are explaining about. Then after few paragraphs, there is a video of yourself, or of the area you are traveling or whatever. And then there is a closing part. And in the end, you want to give a brief description of the company or the place you went. So basically a footer section. So all of this, if you're just going to write inside of the body tag, it is not a good practice, okay? And why that is because when a user searches for a content on a web page, on a browser, the browser then initiates a mechanism called search engine optimization. And what this SEO does is it goes through your document and it checks for these kind of tags. So if you just write it plain inside of your body without any of these semantic elements, it's going to defer your website and it's not going to show it to the user. And now, as a developer, as a maker of your web page, you want your website to be displayed on the top of the result of a search engine, obviously. So, for that purpose, we are going to use these semantic elements. Okay, so here are few semantic elements. I'll explain you one by one. So let's start with a header. Okay. So what is a header? A header is basically where you give a nice navigation bar or a top menu or a nice heading to your page, whatever. Everything goes inside of this header. Okay. So this is where everything goes. The next thing is, suppose I don't want a header, okay? Instead of a header or with the header, I want a navigation menu. Navigation menu as in I want a home button, I want a contact button, I want a members button, I want a form button, everything else. So I want a navigation bar on my web page. For that, I am going to use this nav tab, okay? So with this nav tag, I can give a nice navigation. Now again, this is not going to give a navigation toolbar to your web page. Okay. So if I just save it here and if I go here and run it tutorial 2, you can see there is nothing in here. Okay. So it is still blank and white. So these are not providing any extra design or a structure to your web page. These are just container tags. It's going to contain what you are going to define next. You are just telling your browser that this is the part my navigation bar is. This is the part my header is. It is not actually telling the browser that this is the navigation. Okay. So don't get confused between, okay, I've used the nav tag, still I'm not getting the navigation toolbar on my website. So for that, we are going to learn another things in the upcoming videos. Okay. So as of now, so this is the nav bar for navigation toolbar. The next thing is main. So anything you want, like the main content of your uh, page, it should go inside of this, which you want the browser to check for. Okay. So suppose I am the search engine optimization and I am searching through my through your website and I am looking for a specific detail. Okay. But your web page is just scattered and there is no perfect alignment of the content. It will take me a lot of time and I'll defer your website and I'll go to the next one. But if I have this main tag and I'll write everything I want you to know about my website inside of this main tag, so what I'll do is, as a search engine optimization, I'll directly come to this main tab. I'll read, okay, so this is the stuff this website is about. Okay, that's what I need. So I'll collect your information and I'll show it to the user. So that's why this main tag is used. The next part is the section tab. So you are going to create a lot of sections in your web page. Okay. So let's say you are creating a recipe blog. Okay. So in the recipe blog, what do you want? Okay. The first part starts with the ingredients. So that's the section. The next part is the preparation preparation of the recipe. Second section, the third part, plating and all. So there are different sections. So you want the user to know, oh sorry, the search engine optimization should to know that there are specific sections in your website for each and every part of the web page, for each and every part of the content. So this is going to be divided by the section tag. The next one is the article tag. So if I'm just writing an article, it should go inside of this article tag. Why that is? Because suppose I'm writing an article and the search engine optimization doesn't know that this is the article, and it will just treat it as a random text or a paragraph text. Okay, so it's not going to focus on my article and it will go in waste. So it won't be optimized by the search engine. Okay, so that's why it is very useful to use the article tag whenever you are writing an article. The next one will be a footer tag. Okay, a footer tag, what it will do is, so you might have seen in a lot of web pages, when you scroll to the very bottom, there will be the details about the company, the contact form, or their copyright, and everything, their address, their contact number. It will be separated by a special footer. Okay, what they do is they create this footer tag inside of their body and they give all the details inside of this footer so that the browser, the search engine knows whenever you want to go to a footer, it's inside of this footer tags. Whenever you want to search for some information of a footer of a tag of a company, you know where to find it. Okay, so these are some of the main HTML5 semantics which you can use optimize your web page up to a really good level. So I hope you understood this. Let's move on to the next section. So till now we have covered the basic syntax of HTML. We have written an basic HTML document. We also learned about the paragraph and heading tags and also about the semantic elements of HTML5. So in this section of the video, we are going to learn about some more tags that are used inside of a HTML document on a very regular basis. Okay, so let's start with the comment tag. Okay, so if you have written any code in a programming language, you know that commenting out or commenting your code is a really good way to let others know what you are writing. Okay, so if I write anything in here, it's going to be seen on the web page, obviously, but I don't want the user to see it on the web page. Instead, I want the backend developer to know this inside of the HTML document that I have written something here. So for that purpose, comment tag is used in HTML. And how this comment tag can be used is, you can open it like this, and here you go. So whatever you type inside of this tag will be commented out and will not be shown on the web page. So if I just type comment out and if I just press save and if I go here, run tutorial 3, you can see there is nothing in here. But if I right click on it and if I see the page source, here it is inside of the page source. So that's what I want. So this is the comment tag. Okay. The next thing I want to talk to you about is what is called a placeholder text in HTML, and it's very helpful. So if you are going to work in the web development area, you are going to see this thing a lot, which is called a placeholder text. So if I type Lauren, and you can see I'm getting a Emmet abbreviation. So if I just hit tab, you can see this. This is a auto-filled tag text which I got after typing lorem. So lorem ipsum dollar is a placeholder text that is going to be used throughout your web development area. So if we don't have much time when you are designing a front-end website to fill in every particular fields and tags the manual text. So what we do is we just randomly put this placeholder text in whatever area we want the other developer to write the content inside of. Okay. So if I just save it and if I go to my website, refresh it, you can see this beautiful, I don't know whether it's beautiful or not. This placeholder text is written on your web page. Okay. So this is the placeholder. Next thing is if I want to bold or make my text italic or underline my text, how will I do it? It's very simple. Whatever I want, like if I want any word to be bold, I'll just type B tag around that word. Okay, so if I just save it and I go back here, refresh it, you can see this lorem is now in bold. So for bold, I use B tag. Similarly, for italic, I use I tag, and for underline, I use U tag. So let's say I want to italicize this portion right here to, let's say, till here. Okay, and then I want this part to be underlined. Okay, Control X. Okay, just three words. Okay, yeah. So if I just save it and I refresh my page, so you can see this lorem is bold. This part of the text is in italic. These three words are underlined. So what I did, I just placed a B tag around the lorem to make it bold, a I tag around this text to make it italic, and a U tag around this text portion to make it underlined. Now the next part is very important and I want you to pay attention to it because this is more likely where you can do mistakes in. Now if you see here, if I hit enter, so this means I broke the line and I started my paragraph from the other line. So if I just save it here, that means I'm ending my line on magnum $MQ and on the next line I'm starting it from quisquam temporibus. Okay. So in my web page also it should display it like this. Okay. When I click refresh, 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 it's not happening. It's in the same line. And why that is because HTML by default compresses your text and shows it in one line. So if you don't instruct it specifically to break the line or to use another paragraph, it's not going to do that. So there are few ways to do it. Suppose if you are just initializing a new paragraph, I'll just type another p tag inside of it. But if I want to just break the line and start the same paragraph with the same paragraph tag, what I can do is I can come here and type a BR tag. Okay, so BR tag is a break line tag. Okay, so you are just breaking the line and going to the next line. So if I just hit save here and I go to the browser and I click refresh, here you can see now after this $MQ, the line is breaked and the next line is starting from quisquam temporibus. So this is a way you can break the line in HTML. The next thing is, let's say you are dividing sections in between your content and you need a horizontal rule to divide the section between your content. Okay, so this time I don't want to just break the line. I also want a horizontal rule in between of them. So what I'll do is I'll type a HR tag and this HR tag is going to provide me a horizontal rule between these two lines. You can see here, this is the horizontal rule I'm doing. So in this section, we have talked about the comment tag, the bold tag, the italics tag, the underline tag, BR tag, and the HR. So these are some of other important and useful tags which you are going to use regularly in a HTML document while creating a web page. So guys, that's it for this video. Today we learned about what web development is, what are its components, what is HTML, how to create a basic HTML document. We also learned about basic HTML syntaxes, paragraphs and headings in HTML, semantic elements in HTML5, and some other useful tags in HTML. I hope you guys understood the concepts, and if you did, please leave a like on this video and share it with your friends if possible. Also, if you have any doubt or need clarification regarding any topic discussed in the video, please drop it in the comment box and I'll help you with it as soon as possible. Thank you guys for watching this video. Hope this was helpful to you. We'll see you in the next one. Till then, bye and take care.